algorithms. Perfect. So I'm going to come to Brian's answer and he's correct. But the question is how, so this is my problem. Now, how can I represent this particular problem in the same scenario as this graph coloring problem? Is this the same problem as our graph coloring problem? And since we are currently in the analysis of algorithms class, you need to figure out similarities between two algorithms. And I want you guys to think about it and tell me, does the graph coloring problem and this particular problem have anything in similarity between those two problems? Do they have anything in common? I have one yes. You can answer no if you don't yet understand. But I want you to think about how the graph coloring problem, that was just a simple problem to assign colors to different countries, is the same as this particular problem as well. And those of you who are answering yes, what are the colors in terms of my graph coloring algorithm? What is the analogy to colors in terms of this new problem? Yes, Vamsi, you are correct. Yes, Brian, you are correct. So Vamsi, think about it like this. What if, as Brian and somebody else said, what if I have these vertices assigned as the different classes that I have or the different courses that I have? So that is CS721, CS211, CS560, CS665, whatever. Individual nodes are individual classes. Now, every edge between two nodes, let's say, represents whether a student takes both of these courses. So when there is an edge between 6 and 8, we say that there is one such student that takes both class 6 and class 8, right? So in that scenario, we cannot color both 8 and 6 in the same color. So imagine that the colors are time slots. So in that scenario, we cannot have class 8 exam and class 6 exam in the same time slot. Does that analogy make sense now, Vamsi? So imagine that there is a class 6, there is a class 8. We cannot have both of those classes have the exam at the same time because there is an edge between them, where an edge now basically means that there is some student that takes both of these classes. So if there is a student that takes both of these classes, that means there is an edge between them. And if there is an edge between them, we cannot color them the same. That was the basic problem for our coloring problem, right? No two neighbors can have the same colors. In this scenario, no two neighbors can have the same exam time slot. Exactly. So you guys understand how these two very different problems are basically inherently the same problem, right? Do you guys understand how these very basic two different problems are the same problem, including you, Vamsi? And let me know if you have any questions about these two problems. Exactly, right. So that is what we are going to talk about in the next few classes. So graph algorithms are going to talk about this abstract data structure that comprises of vertices and edges connecting them. And we are going to talk about different types of things, such as traversing a graph. Let's say that I want to go from 8 to 12. Which path do I follow to get to that particular node? Or these sort of coloring algorithms or these algorithms. So essentially, we are going to talk about such different algorithms that apply on graphs, but always remember at the back of your head that graph algorithms are really, really useful in real world examples where we can map these sort of data structures to many real world important examples as well. But we are not going to talk about the real world examples at all because this is an analysis of algorithmic class. We are going to talk about them in a bit more detail later, but essentially we are going to talk about these algorithms and how we can use these data structures to solve certain set of problems. So let's see what's the time. Okay, so I guess yes, so I guess that's it for today. If you have any questions, again, let me know. But next class, we are going to talk about how we can represent these two graphs. These graphs, we have already talked about one possible way, that is to use a linked list, and you guys figured that out on your own. That is this particular part. And we are also going to talk about how we can represent graphs in terms of 2D arrays. And we also had an answer like that before. But before we move to that, okay. Yes, Laura, don't worry about that. Um, yes, so Brian Nis, I would like you guys to review chapter 22. But before you do that, I would like you guys, before the next class, I would like you guys to review this particular set of slides. And then we can again continue this discussion next class. We have not covered that much in terms of graphs yet, but we have covered quite a lot. And we will talk about other things in more detail later. Okay, so if you have any questions,